Good morning, it is Friday the 15th of March 2024. Welcome to another 3 days in my life type vlog. We'll be covering today, Friday plus the weekend. It is going to be super busy, but we'll take it a day at a time. This morning has already gotten off to a really nice start. I woke up around 6 o'clock because I had a super early night, and to my surprise, Asta had made some delicious, fluffy, buttery pancakes which I slathered in maple syrup. They were really, really delicious. And as the days are starting to get longer and the sun is starting to come up a little bit earlier, I thought, yeah, let's start the day with a forest walk and kill 2 birds with 1 stone, because I have a sustainable development course where I need to make a video or some type of media, but I've chosen to make a video about my local environment and some of the initiatives going on and how those connect to Swedish environmental goals, but also global environmental goals. So I thought, yeah, let's get some B-roll footage. It'll be nice for this vlog and hopefully nice for my university assignment coming up in a few weeks. It's currently around 9:15. I actually have a really, really busy morning. I am pretty much fully booked from in 15 minutes until lunch, just packed with meetings. After lunch, I have a few things which I want to do. I put together a little to-do list on my mini whiteboard here in the office room, and hopefully we'll get through most of those. I'm not expecting to get through all of them later in the day. And at lunch, I have to add sources to an aesthetics assignment, which I'm doing. It's the final assignment as part of my first aesthetics course, where I'm writing about virtual violence, simulated violence against non-human animals. When is it ethically problematic? When is it not ethically problematic? I think I mentioned it in my last vlog, but I really hadn't thought about the connection between aesthetics and ethics, and aesthetics has been interesting, but ethics is always where my heart is going to lie, so that's definitely an area that I want to investigate more. I'm not super interested in the rest of it, although I can appreciate it as sort of a worthwhile pursuit nonetheless. Anyway, I have a few things which I need to get in order before my meetings, so I'm gonna brew myself a cup of tea and get to work. Man, oh man, have I had a busy morning. I sort of did a little bit of prep work for some meetings and straight into a weekly sync that I have with the InfoSec and privacy teams, where we share what projects we're working on, how can we help each other. Do that every week. Straight after that, I was in a meeting with my boss and some incredibly smart machine learning engineers, including some PhD students, just to talk about some of our products, make sure that we understand it fully, that we can do a risk assessment, that we can answer any questions that we receive about it. It always becomes incredibly complex because it's, looking at the contracts, it's looking at, okay, what do we do in practice? Different people have different understandings of how the same thing works, what's applicable from a compliance standpoint. I find it really interesting, as dry as it may sound to others. And then finally, I had a meeting with our head of data platform where we were talking about, okay, how do we best categorize and improve our categorization of data across the company? Now, I'm not concerned about all data across the company, but I work with what's known as personal data, anything which can be connected back to an individual, which is actually an incredibly broad definition, and sort of more often than not includes almost all data anyway. So those are obviously teams that I need to work very closely with and make sure that we are communicating what data we have to our users and anyone else whose data we may have, make sure that they are easily able to access copies of that data, make sure that it's being deleted from the right places, make sure that when it's deleted from one place, it's being fed into, being deleted from another place, understanding what's the source of the data, what does it really mean to be deleted or anonymized, why do we keep certain data? All those types of questions. I find it interesting. It's lunch, I'm hungry, I have a crazy long to-do list. I've only ticked off 2 of them this morning, but that's fine. I'm free most of the afternoon. I need to eat some food. I need to do some uni work and draft some emails. It's busy. Lunch was delicious and it was quick. I just took out a small lunchbox of some couscous with some fried smoked tofu, some cucumber, some tomatoes, some fresh mint, and some Palestinian lemon olive oil, which is absolutely delicious. I then finished off and submitted my assignment on Canvas, so I got all the sparkly confetti. And then I went back to work and I looked at my inbox and I have 34 new emails. How is that even possible? That's just from this morning. Luckily, I don't have to respond to most of them. I'm on them for sort of visibility, but trying to do risk assessments when there's so much coming in can be a bit crazy sometimes, but this is even more than usual, so wish me luck. I'm gonna get back to work. So I'm done with work, and I didn't really finish anything on my to-do list. I think I ticked off 2 things. So, it is what it is. Sometimes work really is like that. I did a bunch of other stuff. It was productive nonetheless. I've been working on a challenge with my boss for the last few days and been making really good progress, and they got thrown a massive curveball which kind of ruined all of our work. So it feels like a few days wasted, but honestly, it was a good exercise to do anyway. We acted upon the information we had at the time, so you can't beat yourself up too much for that. It's the weekend now, it's time to switch off from voy work as much as possible. Maybe I'll do an hour or so of voy work on the weekend, but when I'm not at my laptop, I don't want to be thinking about it. After work, I did some tutoring, did some politics A-levels, looked at regionalism, whether regional bodies are able to challenge individual states. I'll leave a link in the description for Tutorful if any of you live in the UK or Ireland and would like £25 of free tutoring credits, and if you use up those credits then book a free lesson. I get some referral money also, so check it out if you want to. You'd never have to have a paid lesson if you don't want to, but the offer still stands. And yeah, now I'm just cooking up some rice. Asta's gonna be home in about an hour or so. She's having a bit of a later work day today, so when she's home she'll be able to heat up some curry and have some rice, and hopefully we'll just be able to chill and not do too much work for today. So for some reason, actually, my next university course, which is an aesthetics course again, doesn't start for 2 weeks. I have absolutely no idea why. I don't think we're scheduled for a holiday, but I have 2 weeks of no mandatory assignments, which is amazing. No seminars, no lectures, nothing. I actually think the next course is only lectures, so we'll see if I go to any of them if I don't have to. Otherwise, I'll just do what I have to do. But I am going to do some pre-reading. I got the reading list a little bit early, so I can take notes and hopefully space out my workload a little bit. So I really have no stress to do any work this weekend, which is amazing. I haven't had one of these weekends in a very long time. Good morning, it's Saturday. It's a very rainy Saturday morning. Yesterday, after tutoring, I had some leftover curry, watched some Friends with Asta, had some popcorn, which was delicious, and then just before I went to bed, I continued reading The Art of Cruelty, which is actually a book I was intending on reading for my essay that I submitted yesterday as sort of further reading. I read, 60, 70 pages of it before I submitted my essay, but did a bit more yesterday evening. It's interesting anyway, even if I'm not going to use it for another essay. Because it's Saturday, that means that it's cleaning day, but Asta and I have to head over to Stockholm for her cousin's birthday party later. So we're gonna have a bit of a really fast, slightly hectic cleaning morning. And then after breakfast, I think we'll head straight over to Stockholm, and hopefully it stops raining by then. But there were warnings for a lot of rain, potentially 20 centimeters of snow, which I don't want at this time of the year at all. Tomorrow should be sunny. I don't have high hopes though, so we'll see. Good morning, it's actually Sunday. I didn't really speak to you yesterday, but let me give you a recap of what happened. So we started the day with Asta's delicious fattiga middag, which I guess is a Swedish version of French toast with some bananas in between my little French toast sandwich. It was really good. Then we took the bus and the train over to Stockholm, went around NK Nordiska Kompaniet, which is a department store, and just went around the supermarket there, got some snacks for Asta as well. Went over to Dedicated, which is a sort of ethical clothing store, if you will. Lots of organic and recycled fabrics, fair trade fabrics. And because Asta had some birthday gifts which she's returned because they didn't fit super well, so exchanged those for a few things, but need to go back and make the most of her what are now gift cards. Then went over to Asta's cousin's for birthday party, didn't film anything there. Came home, had some delicious tofu sticks, I guess like vegan fish stick things for dinner. Played some board games or card games where you had to put a bunch of cards on a timeline and then sort of guess if it happened before or after other events. I went to bed. There was no snowstorm. A tiny bit of snow, but no snowstorm. Lots and lots of rain. This morning, however, as you can probably tell from this video, it's wonderfully sunny. It really feels like spring has finally arrived. Played with Asta's parents' cat, Bengt, a wonderful old Swedish name. Did a little bit of studying for my aesthetics course coming up in 2 weeks, some pre-reading. If you watch my last vlog, you understand that I don't understand Kant's view on aesthetics at all. I think it's super confusing and doesn't really make any sense, but doing some reading on that. And then a little bit of work for plant-based universities. A vegan sort of pressure group for universities to adopt fully plant-based catering. Asta actually founded the Uppsala chapter of that, and because I have essentially 2 weeks of very, very little work, at least university-wise, beyond the sort of 9 to 5, if you will, or the 9 to 7 as it more often is, I thought, yes, I can spend a little bit more time sort of setting up some plant-based university events. So yeah, that should be pretty fun. Anyway, it's time for lunch. We are going to head off to Asta's grandmother's for some palt, which is a, I don't really know what it is, potato farmer's food. I don't know. It's a very traditional Swedish food of like, get your calories so we survive the winter. But we'll have some vegan palt with some vegan bacon, and I'm sure it'll be very good. I'm also sure I'll end up in a food coma. Anyway, off to Asta's grandma. Going to Asta's grandma's was really lovely. The palt was really good, as was the vegan bacon and the lingonberry jam. Such a weird but wonderful combination. Of course, had the obligatory food coma afterwards. Had to lie down on the sofa and sort of recoup my senses. Ended up going back into town, into Stockholm, and going to Åhléns, another department store similar to NK but less bougie, where I got myself a bulldog shave sort of bar. Asta got herself some heat protection hairspray from Maria Nila. A wonderful journey back to Uppsala. I love the double-decker Mälartågs. They are wonderful trains when they run on time. That is not necessarily a given, but a wonderful view coming back into Uppsala. Lovely and sunny and slightly frosty and snowy, but I'm very much looking forward to spring just around the corner and all the flowers going to bloom really shortly. Got home, had some pasta, which was really good. Watched an episode of Friends. We're almost onto the 9th season. We're a few episodes away from the 9th season, so almost coming to a close, but still another few months, maybe 2 months away from finishing. And I spoke to my friends, actually. I spoke to some of my A-level friends that are based in the UK, trying to plan where I'm going to meet them for summer, and trying to coordinate that with Asta's family and my family as well, so that we can take our train journey along down to France, potentially even into Barcelona, all the way from here in Uppsala and back. That'll be a journey and a half, but should be pretty fun if we manage to organise something. And yeah, just wash my face, brush my teeth. I'm going to do a little bit more work on plant-based universities. I think I mentioned that plant-based universities is a vegan pressure group looking to make universities fully plant-based, and as co-founding the Uppsala chapter of that, we're going to have an event. We're going to have sort of an introduction fika, so a sort of a coffee break with cakes and coffees and things for people just to come along, socialise, learn what we're all about. But we have a number of initiatives that we want to do. We want to get some market stalls out. We're going to get some banners made so that we can have them at tables while we do some leafleting at some point, which should be pretty fun. We want to organise some dinners, we want to organise some sort of seminar, discussion, debate things. Lots of things that, you know, we could potentially do and that we really hope to start getting up and running and sort of keep the momentum going. So if you happen to be based in Uppsala and are a student and want to get involved with plant-based universities, I'm going to leave a link down in the description to the Instagram page. You can sign up there, DM us. We'll be in contact. You'll see all our events posted there as well. So do get in contact if it's something you're interested in. You don't even need to be vegan. But, you know, just come along, speak to us. You don't need to know anything about the environment or anything about food. Just come along, say hi, and, you know, see if you want to join, see if you're interested. Anyway, that aside, I'm almost ready to sleep, so I'm going to say good night for now. But I hope you've enjoyed this vlog, and I will talk to you all very soon.